Tonight, I want to tell you a true story, a dark stain on American history that the people of Tennessee have never forgotten. It's the tale of the Bell Witch, a malevolent supernatural entity that haunted an innocent family in the early 19th century. I wasn't there myself, but from the stories passed down by my grandparents and parents, people who grew up in the shadow of this legend, I believe every chilling detail. Imagine being trapped inside your own home, where the laws of physics are twisted, furniture moves untouched, a sinister laughter echoes from nowhere. Cold, hateful voice whispers your name in the dead of night. That was the living hell the Bell family endured. And trust me, this isn't just another ghost story. It's a battle for survival against a force humanity couldn't comprehend. In the summer of 1817, the land around Adams, Tennessee, where I'm from, was still a peaceful, bountiful countryside with sprawling fields and dense forests. The Bell family, prosperous and respected farmers in the community, lived in a spacious two-story log cabin with their 9 well-behaved children. Their lives unfolded tranquilly until darkness began to creep into the moonlit nights. Mr. John Bell, the kind and steadfast head of the household, recounted how one quiet night he was jolted awake by strange knocking sounds on the bedroom wall. It wasn't the whistling of wind through cracks or the rustling of branches against the roof, but rather dry, rhythmic knocks, and he said it sounded as if someone was desperately clawing from inside the wood, trying to break free from an unseen confinement. "Lucy," he whispered, gently shaking his wife's shoulder. "Do you hear that? What is it?" Mrs. Lucy remained silent, her eyes wide in the darkness, her face pale, listening intently to every faint sound that echoed through the still night. They searched the entire house, lighting torches to peer into every nook and cranny, but found absolutely no trace of an intruder or the source of those unsettling sounds. Initially, they tried to reassure each other that it was just their imagination playing tricks due to overwork, but a gnawing unease lingered in the heart of each family member. But then, bizarre events began to occur to others in the family, incidents that defied any rational explanation. Young Betsy Bell, the 12-year-old youngest daughter, frantically ran to her parents' room one night, tears streaming down her face, recounting how her warm blanket had been violently yanked off her by a cold, invisible hand. "I felt a cold hand," she sobbed. "It gripped my leg, as cold as ice." Around the same time, the eldest son and his brothers also started experiencing strange phenomena. They admitted to hearing peculiar whispers in the darkness, murmuring sounds like an old woman mumbling incomprehensible words, sometimes sounding like someone's stifling sobs. One of them, the shyest of the bunch, hesitantly recounted, "It sounded like someone was cursing us. Foul words I've never heard before." At this point, the worry was no longer vague suspicion, but a pervasive fear that enveloped the entire Bell family. They clearly felt an unseen presence lurking around them, watching their every move, and they began to sense that far more terrifying things awaited them. As autumn painted the leaves in hues of gold and a chilling wind snaked through the cracks in the windows, the strange occurrences at the Bell farm escalated to a terrifying degree, leaving no one in the family daring to sleep soundly. An invisible, malevolent force began to torment the family relentlessly and systematically. I've heard tell that young Betsy was repeatedly slapped so hard across the face that red welts would appear, sometimes even drawing blood. "It hurts so much," she would cry out in despair. "It feels like someone is striking me with a cold iron hand." Dishes in the kitchen would suddenly fly through the air and crash against the cold floor, shattering into sharp fragments like so many daggers. Mrs. Lucy, the gentle and enduring mother, would often wake up with her hair in disarray, and she recounted how once she distinctly felt someone tightly gripping her long hair, whispering vulgar and threatening words right beside her ear, their icy breath sending shivers down her spine. But the pinnacle of terror arrived when it began to speak. During pitch-black nights, as the Bell family sought solace and comfort in their feeble prayers, a hoarse, chilling female voice, like the howling wind on a winter's night, would suddenly echo through the room. "I am Kate, and I have come here to take back what John Bell has stolen. He sowed the wind, now he shall reap the whirlwind. He will pay with his life and the suffering of this entire family." Rumors spread that Kate was the vengeful spirit of a woman who had once lived in the area, someone whom Mr. John Bell had mistreated or swindled in a shady land deal. No one knew for certain her true identity, but the resentment and malice in her voice were palpable, like an icy blade piercing the heart of each listener. Curious and morbidly fascinated villagers flocked to the Bell farm to witness the strange events firsthand, despite warnings of danger. Instead of hiding, Kate seemed to revel in the attention. She would sing old hymns in a mocking, distorted tone, tell dark and gruesome jokes, and even play mischievous and frightening pranks like snatching hats, pulling clothes, pinching ears, or shoving anyone who dared to doubt her existence. Some even heard her hiss venomous curses when someone showed skepticism or tried to explain away the phenomena. "You don't believe me? Then I'll show you my power." And immediately an unseen stone would whiz by their head, or a dry branch would snap right in front of them, sowing utter terror. In the years that followed, the haunting by the Bell Witch grew darker and more brutal, like a ravenous demon relentlessly tormenting its prey. By 1820, Mr. John Bell, the strong and steadfast head of the family, suddenly fell ill with bizarre symptoms that no doctor could diagnose. Horrific seizures racked his body, leaving him writhing in excruciating pain, his eyes rolling back in fear. Many nights, he completely lost the ability to speak, able only to emit choked groans, begging for release. Mrs. Lucy recounted how one night, in his delirium, he feebly tried to whisper nonsensical words. It's here. It wants to kill me. Don't let it." Then he would convulse violently, foam flecking his lips as if battling an invisible foe. One cold morning, when Mrs. Lucy brought broth to her husband, she was horrified to discover a strange glass vial placed on the table beside his bed. Inside was a thick, black liquid, emitting a foul, sickly sweet odor like poison. Mrs. Lucy cried out, clutching her husband. "John, what's happening? Who did this? Who put this here?" Mr. John Bell grew weaker with each passing day, his breath becoming more shallow, and on a frigid winter day, he finally drew his last agonizing breath, his eyes still wide open as if staring at the phantom hovering over his bed. Immediately after his final breath faded away, the triumphant, chilling laughter of Kate echoed throughout the house, cold and utterly satisfied. "I've freed him. The greedy old man has finally paid the price, and all of you will be next." The local people were utterly terrified. They believed that Kate was not just a vengeful spirit, but a powerful, malevolent entity, a demon in disguise, spreading terror throughout the land. Stories circulated of strange footprints found around the Bell house, unlike those of any human or animal they had ever seen, and some swore they had heard Kate whispering in the night, uttering gruesome and threatening words. "Blood, I savor the taste of suffering," further deepening the mystery and dread surrounding the tale, haunting the minds of the people living there. The fame of the Bell Witch's haunting spread far and wide across the country, beyond the hills and rivers, reaching the ears of General Andrew Jackson, a renowned military leader with an iron will and no fear of mortal enemies. In 1819, upon hearing of these bizarre events, he decided to personally lead a group of men to the Bell farm to investigate and expose the truth, if it was nothing more than a hoax. But as their wagon train approached the vicinity of the farm, a strange and powerful unseen force seized the wheels, bringing the sturdy horses to a complete standstill, no matter how hard the driver lashed them. General Jackson, known for his fiery temper and unwavering resolve, exclaimed in astonishment and anger, "What in the devil is going on here? Something is deliberately stopping us. I'll wager this is that infamous witch." Immediately, a shrill, mocking, and malevolent laughter erupted from the dense bushes lining the road, as if responding to Jackson's challenge. One of the men in his entourage, his face pale with fear, recounted how they heard Kate's chilling voice whisper vulgar and threatening words, horrific curses they had never even imagined. "You are not welcome on this land. Turn back now before my wrath descends upon you." Utterly spooked and astonished by the supernatural power they couldn't comprehend, Andrew Jackson, a man who had faced down entire armies without flinching, was forced to order a hasty retreat. He is reported to have said, "I'd rather fight the entire British army than face that wicked thing." And the group swiftly turned back, leaving the haunted farm behind. After the agonizing and mysterious death of Mr. John Bell, Kate appeared one last time before the remaining family members and uttered a cold, haunting prophecy. "I will return in 107 years, and this time I will not spare any of your descendants." And chillingly, just as she had foretold, in 1935, people living in Adams began reporting strange whispers, mysterious knocking sounds in the dead of night, and other unsettling phenomena. Some even swore they heard the eerie, cackling laughter echoing from the area of the old farm, a cold reminder that perhaps the Bell Witch had never truly vanished from that land, and her curse might still hold power. The story of the Bell Witch continues to be told through generations, becoming an inseparable part of the folklore of Tennessee. It's not just a scary story to frighten children, but a chilling warning about the dark forces that humanity cannot fully understand. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the cold words, the terrifying events, and the ominous prophecy of the Bell Farm still send shivers down our spines and make us question the limits of the world we know. What do you make of the strange events that occurred at the Bell Farm? Have you ever felt an unseen presence around you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you felt a chill run down your spine during this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more dark secrets waiting to be uncovered. Be careful, perhaps Kate is still out there, listening to us in the darkness.